A significant concession from the Saudis here, agreeing to allow Turkish authorities into the consulate. This is something the Turks have been asking for from the very beginning. Initially, the Saudis said that they were okay with it. Then they appeared to change their mind. Really an indication, I would say, Allison, that potentially some kind of deal or agreement has been reached between the Turks, between the Saudis. We know, of course, last night that the King Salman of Saudi Arabia spoke to President Erdogan. And we're also hearing now a Saudi official telling CNN that Saudi Arabia is about to make public the results of an internal investigation. Take a look.
Saudi Arabia threatening to respond with greater action to any sanctions imposed on the kingdom over the disappearance of dissident and journalist Jamal Khashoggi. This after President Trump warned of serious retribution if the Saudis are found to be responsible for his suspected murder.
There's something really terrible and disgusting about that if that were the case. So we're going to have to see. We're going to get to the bottom of it, and there will be severe punishment.
The Saudi embassy later softening its tone, tweeting that it appreciates the U.S. for refraining from jumping to conclusions on the ongoing investigation. But international pressure is mounting. The United Kingdom, Germany, and France issuing a joint statement demanding a credible investigation into Khashoggi's fate, as bipartisan lawmakers on Capitol Hill pledged to take action.
We cannot have an ally who murders in cold blood in their own consulate a critic, a dissident. That is unacceptable.
There will be a very strong congressional response if, in fact, the Saudis lured him into that consulate, murdered him, cut up his body, and disposed of it.
Senator Marco Rubio urging Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin to skip an investment conference in Saudi Arabia next week, as a number of high-profile companies and investors pull out of the event.
We need to continue to evaluate the facts, and we'll make that decision.
Mr. Trump, who traveled to Saudi Arabia on his first overseas trip as president, repeating his opposition to cutting off arms sales to the kingdom.
I actually think we'd be punishing ourselves. There are other things we can do that are very, very powerful, very strong, and we'll do that.
Saudi Arabia insists it is not responsible for Khashoggi's disappearance. This security footage shows the Washington Post columnist entering the Saudi consulate nearly 2 weeks ago. The Turkish government says it has audio evidence that proves he was murdered inside. The Saudis have yet to provide any evidence that shows Khashoggi leaving the building.